Welcome to SoulWhat, a Soultopia production. Every Tuesday, Michelle and Roger Welch take a deep dive into the intriguing and proactive world of metaphysics, a world beyond our human perception. They'll talk to empaths, readers, and other guests from all walks of life to find out what's hiding under the surface, uncover the mysteries of our modern world, and reveal the answers you need to live a happy, healthier life. Now, here's your hosts, Michelle and Roger Welch.
Hey everyone, we got an extra guest tonight.
Who is that?
Who's
Sitting
over
over there.
I don't know.
All right, if y'all don't know who that is Jaymi Elford. Jaymi.
Yeah.
So we don't have an actual
Bio.
for Jaymi because Jamie's here helping with Tide, getting everything ready, and it's like, hey, you want to be on the show? She said yes.
Yeah.
So,
But she has a great bio. So, Jaymi, why don't you give us your bio?
yourself.
Oh, get my bio.
Yeah, why don't you read your bio for us?
I can snort. I can groan.
She's a good Sasquatch.
No, yeah, I am. Well, I do come from the Pacific
we also have-
Northwest.
the one I
Yes.
had the other night.
I
So-
found a buddy.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Jamie brought
Right.
that one.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Matt, you'll love this one. It actually bends. It moves.
Yep.
Like you can move its like its arms. We're talking about you guys listening about
You can flap.
a Sasquatch that Jaymi. Roger now is like
Wow.
feeling its
He's got a
butt.
little belly on it. I mean,
That's
I think
great.
He's got a beer gut. He's already got a beer gut. He's already spent too much time here in Texas.
Either
Got a
that
beer
or else
gut.
up in the Pac Northwest where we have, like beer and coffee and all that stuff too. Yeah, no, I found him at the airport and he just said, I want to come. I said, okay. But yeah,
That's a perfect gift for either. Yeah, Matt loves Sasquatch too, so we always
Oh.
say.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start taking him fishing with me. When I catch the fish, I'm gonna put the fish out and put him on top of the fish and take pictures.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. Like, you can take him places, take photos. We're Sasquatch, especially at Tide. We can
Yep.
go to the vendors and, you can post videos and photos of where's the Bigfoot now and stuff.
If you happen to have Bigfoot on your table, then you might get a raffle ticket. Not a prize, you get a ticket. But seriously, Jaymi, tell us a few of your most impressive things
Most impressive things about
in your
me.
life.
Well, I am the associate editor, or as we like to jokingly call me, the Ass Ed of the Cartomancer magazine. I help Amber Highland configure the magazine, edit all the articles, find new and cool people to come in, and I'll hopefully be talking about some of this on the publishing or pitch to publishing panel on Saturday at Tide. It's going to be with some awesome other people that have been published through Weiser, Llewellyn, and Los Garabeo. And so another one of my most impressive things is that I won the award with Carta Magazine for the Heaven and Earth Tarot deck that I co-did with Jack Sephiroth. Very, very popular deck, and
Yes.
people reach out a lot, and it's fun to talk about it. I am also the author of Tarot Inspired Life from Llewellyn in 2019. And I often tell people, it's easier to kind of introduce me on what I don't do, which is a lot of sleeping, because I like to have my hands in a lot of pots. So I do, editing, I do creative fiction, I do podcasting.
She volunteered to come to work for us today, so we got a new
Yep.
employee with her.
Well, she
Full
probably,
time.
she doesn't freak out. You don't freak out either.
No.
So I've had my freak out today. Got some, stuff can send me reeling really fast. And
Well, people underestimate how much and the amount of time, effort, and information that is needed to put on an event like Tide. This is not like a one day you just go and you learn. It's 3 days of constant people rotating in and out and learning and presenting and teaching. And then you have a reading area where psychics are. And then you have the vending hall where we're all going to go in and go buy. Like, you can, maybe we'll have copies of Michelle's new book, which is right here, or other things for everybody to buy.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think it's like one of the pop-up markets or like a regular psychic fair where you pop a table up, you throw some stuff on it, and you sell it. But it's not, because there's so many moving parts, and you got to make sure everything flows, everything works, and that's one of the big things that we've actually kind of gotten down pat here.
Yeah, so we've really worked hard with a lot of help from so many different people. First of all, from all of you who agreed to speak, Matt and Anna. Matt being our producer, and Anna Xavier, and it's Xavier, right? I correct it myself every time, not Xavier.
You know what? I mean, I think I've said it both ways, and she's never corrected me, so I'm not really actually sure. No.
Maybe we'll find out
Let's
at
come up with a
Tide.
really good way to say it then.
No,
One of those
let's
off
say
the wall,
correct.
and let's see if she corrects us then.
So she is going to be speaking with Matt, and we've spoken about that. And then Jaymi's speaking. So first of all, thank you to all the people who agreed to speak at this first time event, because we have so many, seriously, so many incredible people that it's and that's the component I think that is different here. We also have amazing vendors, but there are a lot of events that have really good vendors around town. And they do have good speakers also, but not to the caliber, because I've spoken at events around here, but to have this many speakers being flown in, driving in. One of our speakers was driving in today, Al, from Wisconsin.
And cheese state.
Wisconsin.
Is he bringing cheese curds with
I
him?
think that's supposed to be
I don't know. I
Missouri.
should.
Why did we not ask
Well,
if he's driving?
okay, so
he could have brought cheese
his
curds.
friend Connie asked me last week if I wanted anything from Wisconsin other than the two of them, and I said I don't know if cheese curds would actually survive a drive.
Probably not.
Probably once you
sadly,
hit
no.
Texas, it would melt.
I know. But yeah, I mean, well, the key is that it's like we've got international speakers. So we've got Ethany, who's done so many cool decks and so many fun presentations, plus her own academy is flying in from Vancouver, BC. Plus, like I flew in from Portland, Oregon. We've got people coming from Florida that's teaching and attending. So it's truly across the nations and across the borders for everybody who's going to be coming.
This will be a good reunion for all of us. And if you haven't gotten tickets yet and you happen to listen tonight, or if you know someone and you're listening, just go to www.theinternationaldivinationevent.com. That's Tide, spelled out, the International Divination Event.com, and you can go. And if there's something, if you're a vendor and you're listening, we'll tell you this there. But if there's like that one person, if you just have to, I've seen Jaymi now, I want to go see her, just let us know when you get there. But the vendors are great too, and our events are great. One of our great events is going to be on Saturday night. We've talked about it. We're having a Studio 78, a tarot disco, DJ'd by Madame Pamita, who's been on our podcast several times, and also James Devine, who was on our podcast last week or the week before. And
It was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, and they are donating their compensation to Resource Center here in Dallas for the LGBTQ plus community, and they have. That's not exactly how they do the letters, so look it up. It's Resource Center, and we will be donating because they would be paid because this is a big production. So it's a disco, so you can dress as disco if you want. You're all invited. You can dress as disco if you want. You can dress as a tarot card if you'd like, or just come as you are.
And that's probably what I'm going to do because I couldn't pack all the cool outfits I would have brought.
So that will be fine. And
Matt's wearing platforms.
And
I can't wait for this.
He's gonna be dressed like Huggy Bear.
And,
Nice.
Anthony sent her costume here today, and Anthony, I accidentally opened it. I really was like, what's this? Because I do that with everything, and I opened it, but it did make it. And so I have a little quiz. Want to do it? A little disco quiz if I can. I was on it, but are you game to
Sure,
do that? But
I'm ready to fail.
I was on it, and now we may have to pause because me working this. But here we go. Hold on. I had it. Roger.
Yes.
Talk because
Talk.
I had a great quiz and I hit something.
Here we go. Wait. I'll tell everybody. So Michelle didn't. I got a call from her publicist from Llewellyn today to actually go into DC the end of June to do a book signing at the what did I think it was called? It's called the Library Association. Yeah. So it's the Library Association. So we're going to DC to do that. But the other thing that I hadn't told Michelle yet is your books just hit Llewellyn today. They literally got the books in actually today.
Woot.
And,
My new books.
The new books.
Yeah.
The new books came in because while I was talking to Kat, they come running through. Look what hit the door today, and it was your book.
Oh, yay.
Yeah,
So,
your book came in
hopefully-
today.
are they going to ship them and they'll be here?
That's what I said. I was like,
Can we
it would
pay
be
him to overnight a
awesome.
few?
I told her, I said, it'd be awesome if they were here for Tide.
That would be.
Hint, hint.
Because then we can sell them, or you can sign them, or
Yeah,
put one in
exactly,
for the
right?
raffle. It's going to be a great book.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
So
tempted to say y'all, but I'm not from the area. You know, everyone. It's going to
it.
be fun.
we're
It'll be fun.
adopting you. So you're Texan now.
Okay.
You are officially Texan.
How do you get my Texas friends?
How
I'm
do
not
you
very good
crown a
yet.
Texan? I don't know. Crack a
Spurs.
beer bottle over
I guess.
Spurs.
No, ouch, Spurs, or what is it, Tito's? Give me a
Tito's.
bottle of Tito's or something. You know,
we
just
got
dump it over.
those.
Yep.
So here we go. Matt, you gonna play along?
I will attempt to.
Okay.
Yes, I'll do the best I can.
So I just pulled this one up, you guys. It's from Zoo, whatever that, zoo.com. Are y'all familiar? So we'll see if this works.
Don't
And
know
if it
what
doesn't
it
work, we'll pull up another one.
be fun.
Okay, here we go. In what decade did, and you're going to chime in by going me, and I'll call on you. Okay. In what decade did disco music rise to the forefront of the music scene? Does anybody know without giving the answer choices? We got a smart panel here.
I
think
will.
I know, but because this is a decade.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the choices: the 1920s, the 1950s, the 1970s, or the 2000s. This is easy.
Oh, I know this one, but yeah.
Ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding!
Yes.
Everybody together now?
1970s.
70s.
Gen X are here.
Okay, and it says the 70s brought Elvis Presley to the White House. The breakup
wow.
of the Beatles and the explosion of disco music. This typically high energy genre featured elements of funk, pop, salsa, and a bit of soul as well. But I didn't know that Elvis went.
You know, yeah, he's at
well,
the
well,
White
Well, I
House.
knew he
Yeah.
went, but I didn't think
Yeah.
it was in the 70s. I didn't think it was
Yeah.
in the later period.
Yeah, I
He
thought
died
it
like
thought it was the earlier.
78,
Okay.
Yeah.
76 or 78.
What was a unique characteristic of disco clubs? Now I could guess a lot
Disco
of
ball.
things.
I was going to say John Travolta,
Disco ball,
but yeah, disco ball.
Uh-huh.
Or either that or the floor, the light up,
the light up floor.
the floppy, what do they call it? The grid board where it's.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, do you want the choices on here?
Sure.
Okay. Soft boost. I should be having Matt do this because in his radio
him
speaker
and-
voice. Here, Matt. You
The
want to do
game
it?
show host.
Okay, so you're so good at the voice. Okay, soft boost to sit in. Finishing multicolored dance floor.
That's the word I was looking
But
for.
listen to this: restroom for men and women, or a DJ to spin music. We all know
DJ.
this. This is easy, right?
DJ. I go
Bathrooms
DJ.
for
Oh, I
everyone.
guess
I'm
not
gonna
so
do
easy, 'cause I would've
bathroom
guessed-
equality.
I would have guessed the flashing,
The floor,
multicolored
yeah.
dance floor.
I would say DJ.
What do you say, Matt?
I mean, couldn't it be all of them, right?
Well,
Or
it could be.
I know the 90s
But it-
had a lot of those gender equality bathrooms because I
According
went to a lot
to
of clubs.
zoo.com, it's the flashing multicolored dance floor. It's synonymous with the disco era. Some floors are created with lights actually in the floor, and others are created with lights that flash down from above and create the illusion of the multicolored floor. Which 1977 film helped catapult disco music
Saturday Night Live.
around the
I know this one.
world?
Saturday Night Live.
Star Wars, because I actually had a Star Wars disco album, like vinyl.
And
They were
Answer
there. I didn't know
is-
that.
Am I right? Please tell me.
Is it Star Wars?
That's what I'm guessing. 'cause
Okay,
Star
so
Wars
it's
came
the
in
wrong answer to Star
Oh.
Wars. It
Bummer.
does say Saturday Night Fever, starring
Oh,
John Travolta, helped popularize disco music around the world. The film was a great success and portrayed Travolta as the ambitious Tony Manero, working his way up on the floor and falling in love. His solo on the flashing disc floor is iconic. This thing and his white tux. Y'all remember
Well, I
that?
had to do that after Urban Cowboy.
Well, I thought that was earlier, though. I didn't realize that was also 77.
So,
Go
what,
figure.
what 1976 disco song proclaimed "Burn, Baby, Burn"?
Disco Inferno.
You got that one right. Let's see if it gives us any interesting facts. A disco song by a group name
Oh, God, I don't know if I know the group.
Lady and the
Tramp.
Tramp?
Tramps.
Okay. Tramps.
That's it.
Tramps. Multiples.
Produced
Multiples.
a very memorable lyric that continued the pop culture history. It continued on in pop culture history. Burn, baby, burn. The Tramps were one of the first disco bands with influence in soul as well. They started seeing success in 1972 and later won a Grammy Award for Album of the Year.
Nice.
I didn't know, I guess disco music would have to because that's what dominated, but I didn't think of them as. Okay, what shiny silver apparatus was popular in disco? Roger?
Disco ball.
Nose rings.
Yeah. What highly, you got to answer the one before to go to the next one. Disco, these are too easy.
Well, I mean, like most of the people are probably catering to are younger than the Gen X,
They're easy for me because
So-
what highly successful disco group featured brothers Barry, Robin, and Maurice? I know this.
I don't.
Do you know, Roger?
Oh, well, it's the choices.
I do know this
Okay,
one.
go
Okay,
for
go for
it.
it.
Tell me.
What's the Bee Gees?
Yeah.
Oh.
there you go.
Yeah, and the one it was always sad. Barry, Robin, Maurice, and the younger brother was
That I don't know.
Mervyn? I don't know.
no. The
Michael.
one that was in love with Olivia Newton-John, and she didn't love him back, and blah blah blah. Who was that? Oh, y'all tell me who was that? Somebody online.
I don't remember.
He was the cute one, but I don't think he was actually technically in the band.
So he was like
Andy.
a bouncer, or he was
Nikki
the
said
It's
Robert.
Andy. It was Andy. Oh, yes, Andy. But Olivia didn't love him back. That's my understanding.
Aw.
Andy
Okay,
Gibb.
so it was very, very sad
Yeah.
for Andy. I think he
Poor
was-
little Andy.
he kind of creeped out on her a little bit. The Bee Gees were one of the most successful disco groups of the 70s. If y'all haven't listened to that music, that's good music. That's good music. Okay, next. What style of pants was popular in the disco era? The straight leg, the skinny jeans, the bell bottoms, or the boot cut?
flares and bell bottoms.
Bell bottom.
I would think flare, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's got to be flare, more flare than
I
it's
accidentally-
in,
I
flare to me is
boot cut.
Yeah, no.
flare to me is in between boot cut and bell bottoms. So
Yeah, so it was the bell bottoms.
too many.
A few more? Are we good?
Sure. I'm
What
thinking.
1978 disco song by the Village People has listeners joining together to spell out the
YMCA.
letters? Everybody knows it, the YMCA. Okay. What was a popular line dance done to disco music? Do y'all remember this one? Do you want hints?
No, my
What's
first.
the choices out?
It's not the Macarena. I don't think.
No, that's later. That's in
because
the
that's the
later.
90s.
Okay, so the choices are the electric slide,
Oh.
the boogie slide, the yo-yo slide, or the fever slide.
Wasn't the boogie slide?
I thought it would be the electric
Or is
slide.
it the electric slide or boogie slide?
Matt was nodding at electric.
I think that's
Or Matt's holding a
and
phone,
so,
so I'm wondering if he's
you are
actually
on
looking
it.
these
I'm
up.
checking these streams. So.
Matt is correct. It is the electric slide.
Yep.
I accidentally pushed the boogie slide, so wrong answer. The electric slide was It is electric.
Yeah.
Was a popular live dance in the disco era, and other songs often prompted dances of their own. Dances like these were staples in disco. I didn't know line dances were staples in discos. I thought that was in country western
no.
dancing.
No.
Well, I know. Well, weren't some of
I think
them
it started
like the
there.
forerunners to breakdancing and stuff? Like,
I
you
don't
know, like the electric
Maybe.
slide?
Mm.
I don't know. It's a culture I'm not too familiar with, but
Now I like this. I really like this song. Rick James had a hit disco song about a super what?
free.
That's right.
Super
freak.
freak.
Super freak. You're super freaky. Yeah, that's it. He found a hit with Super Freak. It was released in 1981. It was released. I was looking to see if
Wow.
it said re-released as it was starting to, the disco era was starting to go down.
My
it was
wife has a
released.
game that is like, am I older or younger than On the Road Again? And now I'm just like, am I older or younger than Super Freak? And I'm older
now,
than that. And
Super-
that's
I
something
mean,
I would not have thought
I
of.
didn't know. Okay, so what disco song was featured in Sprint's 1990s commercial? I'll give you choices. I'm so excited, Funky Town, Night Fever, or We Are Family.
Funky Town.
I think it's We Are Family, I would guess, because Sprint, trying to connect people.
Matt, yes.
Yeah, I think We Are Family sounds right.
I think that's the most logical
Yeah,
guess.
you would think.
But it's yeah.
We Are Family.
So that is incorrect. What was your
Yeah.
guess?
Funky Town.
The correct answer is night fever.
Ah.
By the
Bee Gees.
formerly talked about Bee Gees with their other brother Andy, but he didn't sing it. Was a memorable sidetrack to several '90s commercials. From telephone giant Sprint, advertisers were able to pass along the message that people could talk all night with the deals they got from Sprint, giving them a night fever of sorts. We'll do one or two.
Maybe
more.
they should go back to the Super Freak for that one.
Gloria Gaynor proclaimed that she would do what in her hit disco song?
I will survive.
That's an easy one, but good.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
saying it's easy, but yeah, it is easy. People who were anti-disco would proclaim that disco was what?
The devil's music.
Horrible.
So your choices are stupid, dead, annoying, or crazy.
Annoying.
All the above.
I would think.
No idea.
I think dead is it, right?
Yeah, I think it is.
That was the saying, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Disco's-
disco's dead.
Well, just about everybody said something is dead. Like, video killed the radio star.
Well, it's not giving me an answer. Maybe at this point I'm supposed to pay.
We will
But
never
I'm thinking
know.
your questions aren't good enough for me to keep going. Okay, so this will give you an idea of some fun stuff that that they're going to be doing. So
I'm going to be
it should
curious to hear their playlist because 78 songs matched to the cards.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see.
Yeah.
And, do I know these songs
Yeah.
or
It's-
not? That
When they
game.
said, James said the fun part will be starting to go, okay, name that song. Then you'll start going,
Which card?
which card?
Yeah.
Like, I used We Are Family, and I was like, okay, Ten of Cups, it's just, but at first you'll be like, oh, what song is this? And then like, let me figure, and then he'll put the card around, so that should be fun.
It'd be a lot of
Really
fun.
cool.
Yeah.
Tech stuff's gonna all be good, right? So Michelle didn't have a heart attack.
Yes. Tech stuff will be fun.
Please, everybody,
We-
put
we-
out
we
good
looked at
vibes
it.
for Mercury retrograde.
It's
the good
minimal
stuff.
minimal cordage
Yes.
of hooking things up.
Yeah. How much did the guy who did the duck? This is a different place. How much did the guy who made the duck voice or did I can't read it.
All right, that was my favorite.
How
album.
much did the guy make who did the duck voice in the disco tune Disco Duck?
You
What
don't know
did he
that song?
make?
No, I know the song now. I was just like,
It
wait.
wasn't that much,
Well, how much?
but it was the after. I think the after effect.
Was it $50, $3.59, $10,000, or close to $1 million?
I think it's 10,000.
Matt,
I have no. I'm gonna guess it's $3 or whatever that.
$3.59.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between, just because, are we talking first release or in total? If there was any royalties after that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
So
my
we'll
question.
put in $3.59 and see what we get. Oh dang it! You have to go through the whole thing. Y'all look that up. Okay.
Hey,
All right.
I'm
We're done.
looking it up now.
And
I'm getting
we're done.
all
Yeah.
because
Yep.
now I'm curious because that was my favorite album. I had that album.
Disco
I played that.
Duck.
Yeah.
That was
I can see that with him. I can see that,
That
with
was
him, though.
his favorite.
You got to think how. First of all, let's talk
I
about
need one of those fans.
Disco Duck song.
I love you, Roger.
Well, like I said,
Hang
they,
on a
they
minute.
made Star Wars disco.
Think about it.
out
Well,
there.
wait,
Rick
no,
Dees.
Disco Duck.
It came out in 1976. First of all, so you know how old I was then.
I was 2. So, yeah.
I wasn't born yet.
She's a young one. These millennials
Ryan.
these days.
Oh wait, dang it! I got a commercial for.
Okay, we can't do it.
I got
All
a
right,
duck.
here we go.
I got a commercial.
So,
I was gonna play the music, just for the
Why not?
because you know.
yeah, and then
for
it'll
bigger.
bleep us out.
Then we
'cause
have a
we don't have
DMCA
the-
takedown because
Oh, there it is. It's gonna cut all this out.
Probably not for this.
Okay,
Look at.
we don't have the rights to this, you guys. So stop.
I
We
love
don't-
Matt's face right
I'm
now.
calling. I'm.
Since it was
James
paid
better have this on
$3.59, we better get
wait,
the
yeah,
rights
we
to it.
Yeah, DMCA.
Somebody made money
They're
on
all
it,
out
just
there.
not him, probably, right?
Voice.
Well, the funny thing is, Nike's headquartered in the Pacific Northwest, and the person that actually made the swoosh for the shoe, that famous, the logo for it, wasn't paid a whole lot when she first got asked to do it. And then Nike went big with the waffle print and everything. And I think it was like maybe 5 to 10 years afterwards, that's when Bill Bowerman or Phil Knight actually gave her a bigger check for having done the amazing design.
I've
So
been,
people, that
yeah.
happens.
What happens? Because I've been watching the Lakers series on HBO Max. I'm up to, if you guys have been watching it, it's not over yet, I don't think, but if you haven't watched it, it's incredible. It tells about the just amazing rivalry between Magic and Johnson and Larry Bird, and Nike is his last name, right? Comes up to and he finds out, Magic finds out that Larry Bird just signed with Converse, so he signs, but he's meeting the Nike guy, and he goes, "You got to get these shoes. And they have they're lighter, blah blah blah," and something. He signs with Converse, and they go, "You won't regret it." And then they show the Nike guy going, but he did regret it.
Well,
he regretted it big time.
Well, it's funny because even in like the early 2000s, Nike did own Converse for a while. Like, because I used to work for them and I was doing website stuff and everything. Like, that's when the whole idea of making your own shoes, Nike found out that like Nike One and Converse One and all that stuff was just a little bit more expensive to make than buying them out of the store, and that's one of their signature things since is making unique shoes for every person.
What's cool is just if you feel like you're getting blown off by people and you have a really good idea. I mean, it was at a shoe convention thing. They had all the big athletes there, and they were like, "Who's that guy? Who's that?" And they were just completely blowing him off, and joke was on them. Okay, so while Roger's looking, let's use Andrea Furtick's because I love it so much, her Epiphany.
I found one thing, it said $188. But he also sued Rick Dees for using the voice.
Oh.
And now he's going to sue you for using the song.
Maybe. And then Roger's going to go, can I have your autograph? Can I take the summons and frame it?
Your
probably
voice would
dead
probably better, Well, he doesn't own the royalties to it, so probably. So this is the Afro Goddesses, the Eye of Epiphany. And so I'll let you do it. Now you shake it, Jaymi, and you're going to get a card or a description of a major arcana, and everybody can guess what this major arcana card is. I love her products. And she will be at Tide speaking, one of our keynote speakers.
It's not one of the cards, but it says...
It is. It's a description
yeah,
of one
it
of the
is,
major
yeah.
arcana cards.
'Tis merely the start.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty accurate.
Okay,
Considering what's coming up this weekend.
Okay. Yeah. So 'tis merely the start. Yeah.
'Tis
it
merely the
applies.
start.
And I would say that's the fool.
The Fool.
Yeah.
That was
I would say. And he's got a little key card over there
you
that
got
tells
it
us the
in
answer.
The box. Where's the box?
And on the floor.
Box got set down.
That's it.
Yeah, I remember.
Y'all
you
know in
used
the
this
audience,
with-
she says she'll have a
Yep.
few of these left at
Just a few. Only a few.
only a few left, but she'll have a bunch of amazing stuff too at Tide.
So you're gonna have to
Yeah.
beat me out for one of these because when I first saw these a couple of weeks ago, I was just like, "Wow, I'm gonna have to,
Fun,
edge
aren't they?
people out." Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I like that this one's tarot related. I've got a couple of that are just kind of like more witchy related, but I
Yeah.
really like the tarot or the divination aspect of it. Divination.
Yeah. So Magic 8 Ball. We've used a Magic 8 Ball in here before. Actually, Roger has because he likes.
My alien. I got a magic alien.
Oh yeah, it was
Oh,
Magic
Ma-
Alien.
Alien.
Yeah,
That's
right.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does the same thing.
So there's the dance. We had fun with the quiz. It's very clever of them to combine both of that. And then on Friday night, if you have the all access pass or the basic pass, which is you just the Saturday and Sunday, you can attend the speakeasy or the seance speakeasy with Carrie Paris and Nancy Hendrickson, and that's going to be really, really exciting. They haven't given up a lot of what they're going to do, but that will not be recorded, so it's that one I'm looking forward to too. Really
I
looking
look forward to seeing
that.
it.
So what else do we want to say about Tide? Anything else?
It's going to be fun. It's going to be from morning to night, lots of learning, lots of gathering, lots of laughters, consensual hugs. It's just going to be shopping. Yeah.
Lots of shopping.
Sorry, Kendra.
Shopping.
I've got a box that I can mail back. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you're local, try it. It's unlike anything you've ever experienced before. It'll be a lot of fun.
And if you're not local, you can still purchase the Zoom pass to watch. And again, go on that website and you just click on the Zoom link, and you can join us via Zoom. Every single thing is included except for the seance and except for the disco
And the meet and greet.
and the meet and greet that is only accessible to those who have bought the Friday pass. So that will be there. You meet all the four keynote speakers, who are Andrea Furtick, the Afro goddess that we were just showing one of her products, and then Matt Arwen, who's been on the show, who's the Psychic Witch, or his book is Psychic Witch. He has a new book, the workbook, coming out. And then also Sasha Graham, who was on last week, or she was on my Tarot Takeaways. I can't
Tarot
remember.
takeaways.
Yes.
Tarot
Yeah.
And then Ethany Dawn, and then our feature speaker is Callie French.
Featured
Artist, excuse me. And then we have like 28 to 30 featured speakers. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We hope to see you there. And what's the scoop if they miss it and they entirely? Can they get the recording later, or you just have missed it? Or can they get the Zoom recording later?
We could do that.
they watch
we could
this
do
afterwards?
the Zoom recording later.
listen?
We could do that. You just won't have the option of the interacting, because if you, that's the whole thing about the Zoom. Yeah, you can get to come back and rewatch it, but if you're there live watching one of the sessions, you can actually ask questions, because we will have a person moderating the Zoom chat. So if you have a question while, say, Matt's talking, they can ask your question as long as there's time.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to be asking questions, so we won't be able to go to all
We'll
of
probably
them.
save
I'm
the
sure.
questions to the end, or
Yeah.
we'll leave that to the presenters,
Yeah.
but I would recommend that.
Exactly.
So, Jaymi, what's your talk about?
I'm going to be talking about how anyone can take their divination tool of choice and ritualize their life with it. So from what a lot of us call daily draws on up to maybe tracking the lunar cycles or even the seasons, or adding in ritual divination into whatever religion you're in, whether it is the pagan Sabbats to maybe some Christian or Catholic holidays, because, it's all good. So I'll be doing that.
Good.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
At all levels. So if you don't know tarot, if you don't know oracles yet, feel free to come in and join. It's just gives you a taste of what else you can do besides readings and kind of fortune telling, divining.
How many? I know I've asked you this a lot, but how many decks have you written or worked on, written for or worked on yourself?
I have written and worked on 21 decks. The majority from Los
Can't believe that,
Scarabeo, who also published the deck they kind of had me do, which is the Triple Goddess Tarot. But I've also worked with the Chinese company, the Arcana something or other, and I can't remember their name. But they asked me to do the Spirit of Cats Oracle. So this was more like taking cats and pairing them with qualities like humility or fun or rest. And the cats are larger than the people in the cards, so that I felt like it had this comfort, kind of interesting spirit presence in the way.
And so, what is the culture regarding cats? I see is there a specific thing regarding cats with that culture?
I know they have the lucky cat.
Right.
I think I might be mixing up my different Asian cultures, but I'm not really sure outside of the broader sense of seeing like the lucky cat, the one that has their paw up in the air and down.
Yeah.
What exactly that is. I know that a lot of people will put cats as Buddha just because, which I know isn't Chinese, but because cats do have that Zen-like attitude of when they want something they'll go for it, and if they don't want something they just kind of walk out on you.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
The cat decks are really popular.
I have a weakness for them, so yeah, they are.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I don't, but I don't. I don't have a weakness for the cat decks. But it may be because I haven't really opened them to try. I just know they fly out of here. What is the one that Lisa?
Oh, you mean the one that if we do readings tonight, the one I conveniently have here in my hands, the Spirit Cats Oracle or Tarot? Yeah.
They're huge. They fly. So maybe I need, maybe I need to. Each to his own. There may be a reason that's just not my thing. Everybody's different, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of dog decks too. So if you're not a cat person, there are a lot of dog decks. I'd like to see like Jen Sankey or someone do a hedgehog tarot. That's what I'm waiting for. Come on, Jen. Where's Simon's deck? Where's Simon's deck?
And it's not that I'm not a cat person and I'm a dog person. I'm not a dog person. I'm a cat person. I don't really choose. There's so many animal decks that I tend to and I like to look at them, but I tend to read with people decks. I don't know. Alien, I don't know.
I know a lot of us, like for me, growing up, when you're teased by a lot of people, you gravitate more to animals. Like I used to think that all animals liked me until I walked into a stranger's dog's kennel run and a dog attacked my back. But, then I learned a huge lesson. Don't, go sneaking or trespassing in other people's yards, even if you think the dogs are going to like you. But some people actually, probably, I know a lot of the queer community like using animal decks because you don't have the gender binary. You don't have some of these people featured in it. So you can kind of separate out the idea of the gender binary and use something that's soft, cute, cuddly, or, some of these images, though, I mean, you look at some of the images in the Spirit Cats deck, not this one, but it almost looks like they will actually attack other critters on the cards, depending on how you come and interpreted that image.
Yeah. Well, I've been attacked by dogs and cats. Did you know that?
No.
2 cats when I was little, they were Siamese cats, and I was at my grandmother's, but that doesn't not make me like cats. It's just like, okay, I got attacked by cats, so what? I mean, I've gotten attacked by people too, so same thing. Learn to
you learn.
stay, and sometimes people attack when you aren't doing anything to provoke them, so because people are just people.
Earthworms the other day, you were attacking them.
Those
so
earthworms.
They probably felt the same as you.
Poor earthworms.
Well, they do grow back.
Not when they're in the bottom of the water and you're fishing with them.
Oh, yeah, when you fish with them.
Poor little earthworm.
You're going to have people protesting me in the earthworm
The chat room's going to be like, go earthworms.
Go, Michelle, the earthworm killer.
Earthworms, right? No, you're not.
Actually, there's the worm moon. When we have the worm moon, we use earthworms and we put it in soil, because if you get like paper that won't hurt them, and not ink, but and not lead, but that's not really lead. It's not lead. Lead's not really what's in pencils, just so you know.
Graphite.
Yeah.
What?
Graphite in pencils.
It's graphite. And you write your intentions on that earth moon. Then you put it in the soil with some big fat earthworms, and they chew up your intentions.
I never thought about that. That's actually kind of cool. It's
They've
like,
done that.
hey buddies, take this
fun.
shit and pardon my French, take this stuff and make it better.
Lordy, you let her talk like that on here?
I can't believe it. Yeah, you don't have to one up her though with a big word.
I can accidentally hit the Oh, now it doesn't want to stop. Oops.
Yeah. Well, Sasquatch.
You get him going and
I mean,
Yep, there we go.
There he is by his little alien friend.
Yep.
Let's see. I'll start playing with them.
Well, no, I mean, you're the ones that gave me the emergency Bigfoot, and now I'm kind of like, where can I find one of these? Because it's kind of fun.
What toy can I have, So, all right, Roger.
Yes.
Take it away.
Take it where?
Our show.
Okay, we talked about Tide. We talked about, well, first of all, Michelle's book is coming out. We're told the June the 8th, but sounds like it may be here before June the 8th.
We're hoping to get some copies for Tide, the author copies, or if they can ship us out some stuff. But yeah, the street date is June 8th, and I know that for a fact Google Play does have it a little early, so if you like your e-readers, you can get it out now.
Yeah.
At least on Google's site.
Yeah, on the Google site, yeah. And you can pre-order also through Llewellyn. You can pre-order through Amazon and through Soultopia.
Yeah.
Might get a little faster through Llewellyn, though, since they got them in.
Well, maybe.
Maybe, possibly.
And
I know that we already have them ordered, so they'll ship them to us. You know, they got to move it from one box to the next box to
Yep.
move them out.
Or depending on how many you order, it's like, they know how many
And-
comes in a box. They'll just
Yeah.
ship the boxes out.
We are going to have a book launch, and we will be getting that date out to you when my first book, The Magic of Connection, came out. It was smack dab in the middle of COVID. Well, actually, at the worst part of COVID, right at the beginning of
It
COVID.
was.
And so we had a, virtual stuff and things like that. And
We had a small grouping of
very well.
people,
They had to
small,
come in so many at a time,
Yeah.
and but
very limited.
it was,
But
but
it
it
was
was
a lot of
it was fun. But I wanted to tell you guys,
Mhm.
you have a good friend, so I'm going to tell Nikki. Is Nikki Perry on by any
Yes,
chance?
she is.
So Nikki
Hi, Nikki.
Perry posted today, and she wrote her favorite. I got to find it. So check this out. I started thinking, this is quoting Nikki Perry, it's public. Can I quote this, Nikki? Okay, thank you. About favorite books and books that informed and changed me. So her number one book is Little Women, right? And so I thought, wow, that's a good one. And she did the Hollow series, and then she explains reasons why. And House of Leaves. She explains the people in the attic. Do you remember that? I do. And then the Silmarillion. How do you say that?
Oh, Silmarillion. It's the kind of the unknown Tolkien book.
Yeah, it's a Tolkien,
I
yeah.
can't pronounce it either. So sorry.
That's her
Tolkien
number
fans.
5. Her number 6 is the Holy Blood, Holy Grail, and then number 7 is Out on a Limb, and number 8, where are you? Between Two Worlds, and number 9, All That Is Bitter and Sweet. Number 10 is the Narnia Chronicles. Number 11 is The Magic of Connection.
Which is right here. It's the one I'm hiding.
And number 12 is Spirits Unveiled. I love you, Nikki Perry. So there you go. And she'll be at Tide. So you all go. I want to meet her and tell her she has great taste in favorite books and really knows how to suck up to her friend. No, but I'm thinking,
No, they are good
there with
books.
Tolkien. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I said, you made me cry. I posted it and commented. That was very nice of her. So as Jaymi knows, books are not easy to write.
They're not, and they're also not easy sometimes to get published, especially right now in COVID, where, I got lucky. My book came a year before 2020, and so I was able to go on a lot of conferences for a year and promote it. But everybody that had their books in 2020, it got really hard for you all. It really got hard. Everybody had to pivot and figure out how to do online Zooms, and that's, when Zoom became the master of everyone.
Yep.
Was to try and figure out how to do all this, including stores. Like Powell's started doing their conversational series where they'd have two authors kind of come and chat about, either both their books or the one person's book, like Michelle here, who's coming out. And I've read both books. And the thing I like about your work, Michelle, is that it's not your typical read. You have such a unique perspective on both how you look at connections, the magical ties that bind us, as well as the spirit critters and angels and stuff, that it's content you're not going to find in all the other books. This is Michelle's kind of worldview, which to me is important, and why we write books. We write books to kind of share our perspective and allow others to really connect with it. We can disagree with it, but it also gets us thinking on how we can continue that conversation. So
Exactly.
they're important, so thank you.
Oh, thank you for saying that, and thank you for all the help you've been. And I'll tell you, it's very true. Most of what's in Spirits Unveiled is actually my worldview based on what I've lived and seen in my life. And what I put is, it's not always been an easy road. It's not been easy in the living. It wasn't easy in the writing. Bringing up a lot of the things, and I share a lot. I share a lot in the book about some things I've been through in my life, probably primarily because of what I see. And Roger knows when I wake up screaming, or when I see this, or I'm pointing, and often he sees some of the things that I see. So it's nice to be married to somebody who gets it and is as seeing in some ways as I am. So in some ways
Especially
different.
that Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah, and my Raggedy Ann doll that is now where?
She's still sitting in the living room on the corner of the couch.
And does she like it there?
Yeah, she does.
At least for now. It's
But
Well,
she
you-
keeps changing though.
Well, you
Her
told her
image.
to like it there because, yeah. How does she change?
You can actually see her change, and her hair turns more auburn color. Like it becomes full, like her whole face and everything becomes more human looking with auburn hair.
Matt, you've met her, right? You haven't met.
No, I have not.
Okay, so yeah, you've heard me talk about her. Auburn.
Yeah, I remember. I'd forgotten about that, but yeah, I remember
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, she
So-
sits in the couch. I'm like letting the boys out, to go to the bathroom. I turn
The
around.
the Frenchies,
Yeah, the
not
Frenchies.
yeah, the boys.
Yeah, the Frenchies. And I come back around, and there she's sitting there staring at me, full formed out with auburn hair, more of that red, auburn
Yeah.
color.
Yeah.
Well, she wants a rocking chair, which is
I need
in
to get
the
it for her,
warehouse over there. And it's funny because they're not freaked out in the warehouse, but if they knew that the rocking chair was there, because what I've done I've told this before, but I'll tell it briefly. When she was here, she freaked people out. So she was in what we call the Bohemian room, and at that point, it was full of stuff. Now we have a big warehouse, so it's a healing room, and she was sitting there. And people would refuse to go in the room because she was in there. And so I would come up here at night and I'd just move her around to random places. So the next morning when they'd come in, she'd be like sitting up at the front desk or she'd be sitting in the kitchen. And they're like, I'm not going to work here because then it was me moving her. She didn't.
I can imagine all the employees going, right now listening to this going, she did what?
Yeah, I did.
What is she doing? It's all her fault?
But they, without me even doing anything, they were not wanting to be around her because she, I think, people have asked me, does she have an entity attached, or do you need to clear her, or does she have? And my book talks about don't. I encourage you not to clear things until you talk to that, whatever it is, or get someone who's willing to, because maybe they have something to say to you. So that's something that is very different in my book. So I always say, engage before you sage. Figure out what they want to tell you because they're coming around you for a reason. Now she's mine. She belongs to me. She was mine from a child. Does she have my energy from childhood? I don't know. I just know that she has some very strong issues and not to mess with her. Now Roger is a very strong, energetic being, and he can just basically I heard him talk to her and saying, "You're okay in the corner." I was like, "Who's he talking to? The dog? Who's he?" And I was like, "Oh, it's my Annabelle." But anyway, we want to do some readings.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, we look forward to seeing everyone at Tide. So we're looking forward to it.
Online or
Thanks
in
for
person?
listening. Okay. So
And you can go and get your tickets at the International Divination Event.com.
And so, here we go. Let me just make sure this is off. It's not.
So I was shuffling my deck and the devil popped out automatically. And I don't know if this is in regards to the Raggedy Ann doll or just the devilish good time that we're having right now.
Ha. Maybe both.
Maybe both.
Matt, do you want to read? Do you want to use your app?
I could if anybody wants me to.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Well, what app do you use? I'm curious. What app do you use?
So I've used it before. It's just called the Oblique Strategy. It's not even really a reading deck. It's more of a thought-provoking kind of. I don't know what you call it. Like sort of to clear the brain
whack
fog.
pack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
But
I
it
don't
ends
think
up
I
being
ever
very
used
it ends up being very interesting and can be. I mean, again, I think you could probably use anything as a reading tool if you wanted to. So.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I call it readings. He hasn't yet started. He qualifies it every time, but I think he is highly intuitive and very good at reading. I was going to use this one, but I think I'm going to use.
For Goddess? Yeah.
It's just what's in here. All right. So do we have any questions? If not, we do. Okay.
Yes, we do.
So what we're going to do, you guys, is let's really try, and I'm always the biggest offender, to try to keep it brief. And how about somebody just jump in and say, two people, say these are mine. We got them. We'll start with, how about we just start with Matt and Roger do the first two?
Okay.
I said let's jump in and then that'll take too long. So let's just, y'all do the first two.
Okay, so the first one is Angela. She would like a general reading.
Okay. So we're going to have Matt and Roger, and we can pull cards if we want, just to see what we get.
Roger, I can go ahead and go.
Okay, go ahead.
So again, I'm using oblique strategies, and again, it's just a bunch of thought prompts. So for Angela, for you, this says, I'll try to hold it up here so you see it. Listen to the quiet voice. Um, and you can interpret that however it means to you. To me, that means maybe try to pay attention to something that you've been ignoring, or someone that you've been ignoring, maybe something that's been kind of going on in the background, that, or maybe even your own self. In fact, I may even qualify that and say maybe listen to your own inner dialogue, because a lot of people kind of ignore their own intuition in some ways. So listen to that quiet voice that's always going on and telling you something, and maybe just stop listening to everything outside and listen to yourself and whatever it is you happen to be thinking about right now.
So just to jump onto that, Angela, here's what I got. Was this card is called Ebens, and I think this is the first time I've actually pulled this card out. I don't remember this one before out of the deck. So, but kind of what Matt was talking about, it says intuition right here, but it also talks about reading between the lines. Okay, so kind of looking between the lines of what people are saying. But the other part I see on this card, see this one is a pencil box. Okay, it has scissors, pens, pencils, ruler in it, and kind of think about work, office type things, and over here you have a teddy bear. So I feel like it's a lot of what it is actually because of your home work cycles of things, and that's where you're kind of need to do, kind of figure out what's happening that you're missing, kind of that read between the lines between work and your home stuff.
Very good. Okay, so Jaymi and I will go next, and I will be reading with the Afro Goddess. I've used it often by Afro Goddess Tarot Arcanas, and this is her first edition. She has more, and this is by Andrea Furtick, the Afro Goddess, that will be at Tide. And Jaymi, you'll be reading with?
I'm reading with this Spirit Cats deck, or the Soul Cats Tarot. So,
that I'm sure I will up if I actually try it. So I'm going to feel so bad about that later. Then I said, I don't connect with this. Okay, with any cat decks. All right, so
Ready?
who are we reading?
All right, so this is Kathy, and what she wrote was, I would love a reading on what area of life do I need to be focusing now.
Okay, so based on the cards and based on what I call, for your highest and best good, what we draw tonight. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to go first?
Yeah, so I pulled the Nine of Wands, which is a cat kind of like sitting kind of battle-worn and scarred down near a sewer grate. And normally this would be like passions and wands, the fire, the things that get you up in the morning. But I'm looking at this one and I'm like, your health, you're tired, you're on that edge of burnout and fatigue. So I'm just wondering if you should really invest in like yourself as far as self-care goes. And I'm not like talking like the pampering that some of us think about, but really like either sleep, water, hydrate, food, try and get back to your roots, and so that you can grow that flame again and make it big.
And I will just keep it short because if Jaymi, I think we can see it here. I got the 10 of Wands. And so I'll just say, Jaymi received the 9 of Wands, and we're just progressing to the 10. And I'll just add on to that. I don't believe this is always burdens. I believe you're almost there. So if you would it's that basic self-care. You don't really have to go overboard with it. It just takes a little bit for you to get back on track, and you'll be there. You'll be there with your health. So the 10 of Wands. And I'll just say the same thing. Yeah. Because you got 9 of Wands.
Yeah.
I misspoke. 9 of Wands and 10 of Wands. Yeah. So that self-care thing, but basic self-care. Yeah. All right. Who's next?
Next is Kelly, and Kelly would like a general reading, please.
And so I want to say something. So when you ask where do I go next, that's pretty important because people tell me that, and then I jump on to something else, and I think, well, this is a more this is a bigger thing, but then I'm not going to be able to do the bigger things effectively if I don't do what Jaymi and I just said, right? Okay, so it is important. Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's Kelly, and she's wanting a general reading.
Okay, so it's you and Matt, right? Or you want to shake it up? Well, y'all go ahead.
Sure.
I'm so indecisive tonight.
You want me to go? You got it.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Kelly, I got the this one. Okay,
I
Andronimus.
got this one.
This one, Andronimus. It says autonomy, free will, manifestation. But I really get the manifestation part jumping out on this card, and I'll tell you why. For you, is I don't feel like you've really been focusing on manifesting what you're wanting, and I think it's not just that you're not really manifesting what you want. I think it's more that you're not sure what you want. So I think you need to do some soul searching of what you really are wanting, how you want these things through the next couple of weeks, couple of months, couple of years even, how you see it looking and how you want it to play out. And you need to really be focused on how you want it to look and manifest it to look exactly like that.
Create your own reality.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Okay, and this was for Kelly?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So I got here, make a blank valuable by putting it in an exquisite frame. I don't know if I can get that. There we go. And it's interesting. Like I was also thinking a little bit down the manifestation route of putting like a frame around something, maybe focusing a little bit. Not if you imagine it being on a big blank wall, and there could be like a million possibilities in front of you. Put a frame there and just focus on that area, and try to find the art within that, whether it be whatever that may be. And I think it could be anything. But yeah, I think put a frame on something, manifest something, focus your attention, and instead of feeling maybe a little scattered or like there's too much in front of you.
Excellent. That's a good one for a lot of us, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. So this is Nikki, and she would like a general reading.
Okay. So, Jaymi, and I will, Nikki, I know you love Andrea's.
Want me to go first?
Go for it.
We have the Fool Kitty. So this one's kind of coyly rubbing up against a broom. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, if this is the Nikki I've met, I'm like, are you actually playing with your cards? Are you going and jumping into that next stage, that next phase of, your reading your spiritualness? Because that's, you got to trust in what's coming your way and then grab hold of it and do it.
So, Nikki, for you, I got the Two of Cups. Roger, would you hold it up? Just the Two of Cups. And what I see for you, honestly, immediately what I got is the fact that you are making some important friendships this weekend and just in your life right now, some important friendships. And I don't like the word, even though it's in my book, The Magic of Connection. No, I don't like the word networking. I like the word connection. I like connecting with people, and I feel like you're making some important lifelong connections and friendships this weekend, and to really, it's going to be a good opportunity for you to meet some really lifelong friends for you, and I feel that's coming for you right now. I kind of got confused on my words because I really don't like that word. Networking got, for me, a little bit of a bad connotation, just to correct myself. And connecting to me is what I mean by that is not, connections. Like I'm going to, I have Matt as a connection and he can help me and I can use him. I don't mean it that way. It's like you're really connecting with someone. You're really making a soul connection. So I feel that for you. And I know that sometimes we tend to close off and we think that, that's it in life. We don't need any more. But they shift and they move and they change. And I feel like that's going on for you right now. Okay. Next.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So Amber would like where was that? Card for tomorrow's outlook.
Amber for tomorrow's outlook.
Yeah. Tomorrow's outlook.
Tomorrow. All right, so here's what I got. Arcturians, and it's the little green guys, okay? The Arcturians. Arcturians.
Arcturians, feeling safe, wisdom keepers concerned. But for you, what it is the feeling safe side. Plus, because see, they have like, hope it shows. You kind of see they have like the little bubble of protection around them. So I think it's for you is actually you putting up your protection walls around you to try to make yourself feel better and feel safe. And I think that's a big thing for you right now for tomorrow is wherever you're headed out to or what you're doing is putting that protection up, whether it's work, going to Walmart or whatever it is.
Especially at Walmart.
Yeah, especially Walmart.
Sorry.
Maybe try Target. But put that little protection wall up and try to, kind of keep your own energy, and not be soaking in all the other crappy energy from people that you don't want to soak it in from.
Matt?
From Walmart.
Certainly not from Walmart.
Picking on Walmart.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I have one. I wouldn't say it's necessarily opposed to that, but it might be as an addendum to that, and it says, how would someone else do it? So whereas Roger was talking about like not soaking in other people's energy, and I would agree with that in general, but also think a little bit about, you know, like maybe if there's a problem that you're facing tomorrow, you've been thinking about, like try to look at it from another perspective, maybe even seek someone else's counsel if you haven't been doing that, or if you haven't felt like you needed to. Now might be the time to go and reach out to someone that you trust and ask them for help, or even just try to look at it from another perspective, walk in someone else's shoes, and just think, how would someone else do it? I mean, I think that's fairly straightforward, but it hopefully it resonates with you and means something to you with whatever it is you're thinking.
Specifically, that's a good thing to remember, both for tomorrow. I want to tell you guys, we can do our 1, 2, 3s now if we want, but I wanted to tell you that the deck that Roger is using, the Mystic Martian Oracle, has become one of his favorite decks, and it's really cute, by Lisa Porter from Rockpool. But in my
Can
book,
we have her for like the, artist for next year? Like
pardon me?
this?
If you can do whatever you want to do. But in my book, Spirits Unveiled, that's coming out, there is a chapter where there's actually a quiz in the book where you will find out which of these, and many of the ones Roger mentioned, like the Arcturians, many of them are in the book, and I write about them, and then there's a quiz to see which ones you connect with most. So it could be that you may be potentially a hybrid. I believe in that, a hybrid of that being, or you just are working with that being, or you're just drawn to them. So that is in either, I believe it's in chapter 10 of the last chapter of Spirits Unveiled, and it's in there.
Yep.
And then you go to, in the appendix, you go and you find the answer. So you can't just look and see which one you want it to be. So it's every time you read those, I go, yep, that one's in the book, that one's in the book. And it's very interesting. So
It's a good conversation starter,
it's
almost.
fun, yeah. And so the other one is that the other thing I wanted to mention is Roger and I will be speaking. We may switch our time around a little bit, so I'm not going to say the time that we're speaking, but we're speaking on We Will Rock You. And we are doing, because I mentioned a quiz, you're going to do a little personality quiz on which stone is good for your personality, which personality you are, and then which personality you might, which stone might be good for your personality type. I'll give you an example. There's a cubic structure of crystals. So I am not a very organized person at all. I have a lot of creative thoughts, and I'm like this all the time, a lot of ideas. So a cubic stone, I love fluorite. And the reason I like it is that's cubic in nature, and I need it. The internal structure is cubic. But I might be drawn to amorphous stones that have no structure, like amber, obsidian, things like that, because they're more fitting to my personality. But they might not always be the ones that I need to work with. So we will be speaking on that, and we will rock you. And then again, Matt, real quickly, you will be speaking, and Anna will be speaking on.
We will be speaking Sunday morning on how to make and market a podcast. That's anything from the technical side of literally how do you do it, to how do you go about organizing your thoughts and putting them out there for people that want to listen to you, to how do you then take what you've made and make that work for you. Anna does that all the time for people that she works with, and taking this one piece of content and turning it into a dozen others that can live on for quite some time. I can pull this up real quick and show you. I just met with her last night to finalize our idea. This is our outline. You're not going to get a sneak peek here, but you can just see how long this is. This is way more than an hour, by the way. So we're going to have to find places to trim it, and we're going to do a run through a little later this week. But there's a lot of good stuff in there. Any including on how to just ask better questions as a host or answer questions better as a guest. There is an art to being a good guest, and if you want to get yourself out there, you get booked on either in the media or on podcasts, you need to know how to be a good guest because you won't get asked back if you're not. So all of that stuff is going to be included in our talk, and I hope to see you there. Hope to answer questions, and I'll be around that weekend too if you want to catch me and just ask me something. So absolutely, or you can just find you know where to find me. I'm here every Tuesday.
Thank you. So just so,
Remember to ask for autographs from Matt.
yes. So Matt and Anna both,
Yeah.
they both do incredible jobs, and also just everyone there. I think everyone will be so nice and approachable. So we look forward to it. It's going to be here in Dallas. If you haven't got your ticket, go ahead. It's not too late to get your ticket. It is too late to be a speaker. We received 2 speaker applications today, I believe, and I hate to tell you, but those speaker spots were full. Months ago, right? So next year for that.
Yes.
But let's do the 1, 2, 3s. We'll be a few minutes over. Is that okay, Matt? If we keep them? Okay. Let's keep them. What this is choose a number between 1, 2, 3, and 4. Matt, you do it too. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Get your number now in your head. Get it in your head. Got it? Okay. So we will go 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll give a quick reading due to time, and this will be your reading for the week. Okay. So Roger, you want to go first?
Sure.
So for all you number 1s.
Uh-oh. So got the MIB. Okay, Men in Black. Michelle, MIB stands for Men in Black.
I didn't know what Men in Black were.
Stalking, intimidation, and confrontation. Okay, don't be a stalker. No, I'm kidding. But what I actually is this week, kind of pay attention around you is what I got. Kind of be aware of your surroundings around you, of people that may be kind of paying attention to you at this time. Okay, so this is a week for you to pay attention of the people around you and what they're up to.
Very good. Okay, do you want to be number 2?
Sure, I'll be number 2.
For the number 2s.
For all you number 2s out there, we have the Lovers card. So here we have 2 kitties that are kind of snuggled together and hugging one another. And the Lovers to me is about the choices that we make to engage with and who we engage with them or what we engage with them, if you're dealing with some spirits here. So this week, make sure that you choose to be present and be with the people and the moments that you're in consciously.
Awesome. Matt, 3?
Yes. So this one is fairly simple, but good advice for this week. Tidy up.
Oh, God.
So, I mean, obviously that could mean just what it says, tidy up, clean. If there's something you've been putting off cleaning up, now is the good time to clean out all the excess, clean up, and make yourself feel a little better. But also tidy up your mind. Maybe if you've been feeling a little scattered lately, if you've felt a little overwhelmed with things that have been going on, tidy up, clean out all the stuff that you shouldn't be focusing on, and tidy up your mind. Find a little relief from the clutter that's around you, both physically or just mentally. So yes, focus on that this week. That's more of a general mental and physical health kind of thing, but now's maybe a good week if you chose number 3 to check all that stuff off the list.
And even if you didn't, I'm sitting here on that.
It's really just good for everybody,
It is.
really,
I chose
but
to.
especially you number 3s, tidy.
Yeah. I like that. Tidy up your mind too. Clear that stuff out. All right, you want to show this one? This is from Andrea's. I forgot his card. To close this out for the 4s, I got the Tower card, and I quickly, intuitively asked, "What is my message for this for the card?" And the card, the image immediately came to me. My vision is that you don't need to bring on your own tower. There are other cards that are self-sabotage cards. I know that. But what came to me for the Tower card, for you 4s that chose 4 this week, is you don't have to be the tower. You don't have to self-sabotage and bring on the tower yourself. Some things, you can let them roll by. The tower will come when the tower needs to come. You don't have to make the tower come yourself. And that's what I got for the 4s. So rest easy, because I didn't get necessarily 4s of towers coming for you this week, or that's a tower moment. I call them tower moments. It's that maybe I didn't choose 4, but we're as 4s sort of making our tower moments. Okay? I hope that's clear enough. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Jaymi Elford.
Thank you for having me.
For being our guest and for helping us so much with Tide. We literally could not do it without you. Matt, thank you so much for producing us every week, and the fact that I do still have so much more to learn from Matt. We all do. He tries, you guys.
I expect to see you there on
Yes,
Sunday
I
morning.
expect to be there. He's always teaching me, because I am on a lot of podcasts, and I will be from a book, so I need to learn, He's always telling me how to keep the answers shorter. That's one thing he's always helping me with, right? Because I ramble. But thank you so much, everyone. You can listen to us on all the podcast platforms. Follow us on Michelle Soultopia. Follow us for Facebook, SoulWhat, and all the places. And most of all, have a wonderful week, and we will see you next week.
Good night, guys.
Thanks for listening to SoulWhat, a Soultopia production. If you're intrigued, searching, or looking to schedule a reading of your very own, visit us in sunny Dallas, Texas, or visit us online at facebook.com/Soultopia Holistic Boutique. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcasting platform to be the first to hear new episodes every Tuesday at 7:30 Central.